And she's like, I was gonna talk to you about that. And I was like, about what? She's like, about track. And she's like, I don't think you should be doing Division I track anymore. This is forever. And I can't change it and I can't fix it. So, since that was everything to me, I finally realized, like, it got me. After running, you typically go and lift for what was the program for us. So I walked into the weight room and I was about to start doing the weightlifting program, and there's mirrors everywhere, and I was wearing shorts. And I remember I looked at my legs just like how anyone would before they start to squat or whatever I was doing. And I remember just staring and like not doing anything, and my teammate being like, Deb, what's up? And I was just like, look at my leg. Does it look weird to you? And so, I was pointing my left leg or whatever. There was like something under my skin, like oozing down my leg. And it really was lymphatic fluid, like slowly making its way from like not being able to have any way to get out of my major groin, that lymph node that was damaged, and like slowly filling up my leg. One of my doctors was my sports doctor, actually, growing up when I was a gymnast. And I remember, this is not something that he specializes in or anything, but he cared about me. And that's kind of what I needed. And someone that like cared enough to really, really think and think and think. And he said, I'm going to send you over to the University of Minnesota, and I'm going to have you meet with somebody that I met along the way. And I feel like she would know what to do with your situation. And I think he didn't want to tell me at the time, but he was pretty convinced I had lymphedema. But he sent me to a lymphedema therapist, Carrie Makowski, who is still my lymphedema therapist. And so she sat me down, she's very sweet, and she said, okay, so you have lymphedema. It was hard, to try to figure out who I was going to be, even if it meant that I wasn't going to be a track star anymore. Who was I going to be anyways with lymphedema? Like, who is this person that has a chronic condition for the rest of their lives that I never thought I would be that. The one thing that lymphedema did for me very quickly was I lost all reason for vanity. As I think when I told you when Carrie told me that I had to wear the garment at all times, I was like, how am I supposed to be cute in my head? And I lost all reason to try to be cute. And that was the first step in me being okay with wrapping my leg every night and wearing a garment all day. So slowly everything that I did was revolving around my leg. I met my now husband, Patrick Carson, very shortly after I moved home and went on a date. I remember being really afraid to tell him about my leg. I'm like, so I do this weird thing. I wrap my leg with foam and but he didn't care. In the best way, he didn't care. He was kind of like, okay. And nobody can really get to me. It's one of my best traits. Except Patrick can get to me. And that's what we found out, is that he, it was one of the reasons, it's one of the things I always come back to when I think about why I married him. And he said, you have lymphedema and it sucks. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I just think that I'm happy you have lymphedema. And I said, oh, are you? Thank you, because I'm not, I'm just being a little brat. And he's like, hear me out. He's like, you know what? No one I know I've ever met, and no one I ever will meet, is as strong as you are. No one. And if someone's going to have lymphedema, you should, because you're the strongest person I know. I saw a sign that said CrossFit Minneapolis on my run. It was sort of near my house. And I had never really heard of CrossFit. And maybe I heard spatterings of it, but not really. I looked in the gym, and there's one guy sitting in the middle of the gym reading a book. And the gym was super weird. There's no mirrors, and it was just a really small, weird gym. And he noticed me, he was really excited for me to try the class. And so I was like, sure, I'll stay. And so people came for the class. They all kind of knew each other. And he was like, oh, this is Deb. She just walked in. And I was like, hey. And, he, told us the workout. And in my head, I was like, I'm going to beat all of you. And because that's just the way I am. So I was kind of hooked. And he was like, you need to come back. He's like, I want to coach you. There's this thing called the CrossFit Games. I'm going to send you some links and you're going to look it up and you can totally do it. And I was just like, whoa, like chill out. I just wanted to try something new for working out. So I still went the whole year of just like doing CrossFit for fun or whatever. And he really trying to push me. So this guy's name is Tyler. He's really trying to push me to like compete. And I'm just like, I hadn't told him really about my whole lymphedema thing. I'm like, just pump the brakes. So the season started for competition and the first workout comes out and I'm like, killing it, and, I did the workout and I looked to see where I stack up from the first workout to try to qualify for regionals, which qualifies you to the games. I ended up first in the region. So I was like, all right, regionals in 2011 was the hardest thing I ever did in my entire life. It was the first time I wore shorts. I had always worn these like long Lululemon like pants like to work out in because I just didn't want to talk about it. And I was still a little embarrassed about it, to be honest. And, the first time I walked out on the floor, I remember the first time Tyler saw me in shorts, he was like, look at you have legs. Like, like I never wore like shorts. And I was like, yeah, I do. People were always like, where can I get like this pants with the one leg like you? And it's like, it's not pants with one leg, or like people be like, oh, you forgot your leg, you forgot one of your legs. And I'd be like, no, I didn't. It's compression garment. It's so hard for me just not to be like, just stop it. Like the whole reason I didn't want to wear shorts, because I want to blend in like you blend in. Like you don't have to answer why this, that, or the other about yourself. But because I'm wearing a compression garment, I have to like, yes, I'm wearing a compression garment. No, it's not pant leg. Yes, I'm okay. Like, no, I'm not a burn victim, which I've got a lot. I'm like, no, I'm not a burn victim, which would be very sad, but no, I'm not. And like, it was something that I had to get used to. And I went to the games 2011 and I didn't do as well as I wanted. And that was all I needed to want to go back in 2012. So went through the whole season again, qualified in 2012, did really well in 2012. And it was nice because that's when I think the lymphedema community kind of caught wind of who I was, because CrossFit did a really great video of me winning the Spirit of the Games award because of what I overcome, basically for having lymphedema and because they had an ocean swim and I hate swimming in oceans. So all those different things combined gave me the Spirit of the Games award, which is a really prestigious award that they give at the CrossFit Games. And that was me. I kind of realized at that point that, hold on a second, I'm totally an athlete. And I'm probably more of an athlete than I would have been if I didn't have lymphedema. It's just that I was so stubborn with trying to become the person I thought I was going to be athletically. I actually found myself there. Do what you have to do, like that your doctor tells you. If your doctor and your lymphedema therapist tells you, you need to wrap every night for your leg or your limb to be good, and you need to wear a garment every day, and you need to do this, didn't do it. And beyond that, the support you get from other patients should support whatever goal you have. Basically what I'm saying is that people who have lymphedema are very strong. They're very strong, especially if you're one of those people that are very diligent, who are taking care of your leg daily. Like, you're a very strong individual. And it's really nice to hear that from people who don't have lymphedema and see what you do.